This is CIT 3. We are playing Color Order AC. This match is between Mr. Mark Avery and Mr. Pete Trimmer.
Hi.
Who won the toss?
I've just won the toss
And
I'm electing to put Mark in.
Play well, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, and I shall have red and yellow.
He'll have red and yellow. Okay. Go for it, guys. Thank you. Mark plays red and shoots to a standard opening position in AC near hoop 4 on the boundary. The first ball played, the color doesn't matter, but the second ball played matters a lot. Pete chooses blue, and I'll explain why in a minute. And he hits. Now the question is, what does he do? I think he's going to send both balls out of bounds, such that red is to the west of blue. Rick, it's going to come at you. Be careful. Okay. Now, why did he do that? Look where the balls get marked in. And remember that in this game, balls must be hit in color order. Jamie has an easy hit on red, but he cannot go to blue. He would have to go to black, and even though black is not in the game, it's required in the order. So the opening's very interesting because of that, and so are 2-on-1 endgames. If Jamie takes red away, that'll leave blue for black. He could also jump. Right. So this is the standard that the third ball will probably play a foot south of hoop 2. Let's see what, nope. All right. I think he will now go try to make hoop 1. But he misses. Black's got everything, because black hits blue. Now, one thing he could do is bombard blue with red. Okay. So it'll now be black to play. Clearly black will hit blue. But after blue, black has to go to red. That's why Jamie put it far away. And then get to yellow, who's in corner 4. Okay, blue's been hit. Pete either goes to 1 with blue or goes to red, or just gets blue and black off the lawn. So I think Pete's going to red. If he can get a rush on red to yellow, which he might, that could be very good. Oh, is blue staying in? I fear blue is out. Mark, is blue out?
Yeah.
Okay, blue is out. Turn over. Now, Mark will play red. He will hit black. And go to partner and maybe try to make the first hoop. Let's see. Okay. Blues hit red. We are in color order. If you look at the peg, he's now. So red's hit black. The next color is yellow, and then blue. He could just be setting a leave. But with blue there, I think black will just go to blue. Or black will separate away from 1. Okay. Very nice. I suspect Jamie is going to send yellow to 2, hoping to get position at 1. If so, he can come through the hoop and hit black, and then have yellow at 2 and blue at 3, so we could run sort of a 3-ball break for a little ways. Here it comes. Stop. Ooh-wee. That's a great shot. That's a great shot. Big hoop shot. But he may be wired from black. That would be a gift. You join me for a minute, Mark? Well, maybe only one shot, so maybe we'll see. That was a nice opening. How long had you thought of that one, the opening?
Wow, I thought I'd make him hit this 6-yarder. I thought I'd make him hit the 6-yarder, fourth turn, based on Pete not shooting very well earlier, in his own words, and then just in case, and he nicked it. So, and I thought I'd try an aggressive start on my last shot. It was a little bit aggressive, but I got away with it.
Go for it. All right. So red will hit black. Put him out there as reception. Score the hoop. Okay, that's a nice shot. Comes through. He'll hit black. I believe he'll try to send black toward blue. Going to yellow. Notice that if he makes 3 with yellow, he can't immediately go to black after yellow. He's got to go to blue. So putting black over near blue will allow him to go to blue and then back to black. Just like that. It'll be interesting to see what he does with yellow after making this hoop. In traditional AC, you would think about sending him to hoop 4. Here, given that you're hoping to make the hoop with black, you'd like him to be pivot, not pioneer. So the pioneer will be blue. So yellow goes to blue.
Jamie's having a sextuple attempt on the other lawn, just about to start.
Jeez. Good. Jamie again? Jamie again trying the sextuple?
Yeah, he's just laid for it. The opponent bounced off the hoop.
Oh,
so
good.
Very.
Oh, good. This is doable. Okay. So, back at this game, Mark has put yellow to pivot. Now he's going to send blue to pioneer and go to the old pioneer ball and get him to reception, which is what we call the standard procedure. It's a pivot swap. Very nice. Very nice. Stop. All right, still nice. Okay. So he now has control of all 4 balls and should be able to run 9. Or if he's running a sextuple, run 6. But I suspect we're going to see him run 9.
Yeah, Mark will go 9 hoops. I think Mark will make 9 hoops. He'll stop at 4 back. And most likely have a diagonal spread, but with a rush to hoop 1 rather than to the peg. Incredibly competent player, but he's normally a very quick player, Mark, but he's having to break his flow a bit more at the moment, thinking about the order of the balls. Particularly when you're coming up to a leave, you have to really think about the order of the balls and where you want to get them. At the moment it won't be too complicated because all the other balls are for hoop 1, but when the oppo balls are for different hoops, and you want the balls a particular way round, it can really require more thought with this colour order AC compared with the normal game. So at the moment, although we've had 3 days of play already, we're all still having to think really, really hard and break our flow at the moment. So the more that we get used to these things, the more we'll get used to that, but I think it's probably affecting some players more than others at the moment. Mark's normally an incredibly quick player because he's been playing at the top level for so many years. There are a lot of automatic things he has in his system. Fortunately, he's also been playing for long enough that he's used to having breaks. If he's playing doubles or something, he's fine with stopping and starting as well. It doesn't really affect his play too badly. Right, I'll hand back to Howard.
Thank you, Pete Trimmer. All right, Mark's about to make hoop 4. At the moment, his partner is Pioneer at 5. In how many hoops time, Pete? In 2 hoops time, he'd like his partner to be Pioneer again. That's not going to happen if he follows just standards. Because in 2 hoops time, he would be at pivot, so he needs to do an expedite. And this would be sending blue to 6, which he chose not to, which is fine. Doesn't have to get the order correct yet.
So as a quick reminder, when Howard talks about standards, what he means is that each time that Mark's run a hoop and hit the reception ball, rather than putting that ball up to as Pioneer for his next hoop at 1, the standard play in this game is instead to put that reception ball as pivot and move the existing pivot to the Pioneer for the next but 1 hoop. And that makes sorry, Howard's just chipping in with, and the Pioneer of course then becomes the reception ball. So that's still an easy way of controlling the break, but of course sometimes you then want to be switching the balls around for approaching leaves. So there's other terminology that Howard has invented for this game for switching the balls around. So The key thing is to remember that when you hear the term standard, it doesn't just mean a standard play or the standard thing you would normally do in AC. It actually means swapping round the pivot with the Pioneer, compared with what you would normally do on a 4-ball break.
Thank you, Pete. So there are 4 important 4-ball procedures, as we call them. And they all relate to how far you advance balls in functional order. So if the 3 functions that a ball can have are reception, reception, pivot, and pioneer. If you have balls in that order, and you advance them all 1, that's a standard procedure. If you advance them 2, it's an expedite. If you advance them 3, it's what we call a repeat, because there's a 3-hoop cycle in color order, and the reception ball in 3 standards will come back to reception. The pivot will come back to pivot, and the pioneer will come back to pioneer. And knowing that little piece of arithmetic opens the doors to lots of ways to control the balls. Okay, so let's watch Mark do it. Okay, Mark is in front of hoop 6. Okay, I believe he's trying to set a diagonal spread leave for his partner yellow. So yellow will end up with a rush on red, and as you'll see, he's going to want black at the peg and blue as the ball at 2. But now he's got to figure out how to get the balls there, because he's not in the color order he wants to be at the moment. But it's still early. So he hits the reception ball. And I believe he's going to send it to Pioneer at 8. Going to yellow. Okay. I think he's going to send the pivot ball to reception, because he just sent the black ball 2 functions forward. He wants to send the yellow 2 forward, and that would be from pivot to pioneer and then to reception. And then he's going to send the pioneer ball to pivot with a little load and hold. And that is called an expedite procedure. But it does require the little load and hold.
He's now bombarding his second pair with the sex table whilst getting a rush on it to hoop 4.
Yes, jeez.
Yes. You should have videoed.
I know. We're not going to get to film that one, but... Okay. Now, in order to stay in color order, he can't go blue-yellow, because he misses black. So this is going to become the pivot. And he did 1 expedite. Okay. Comes through, hits yellow. Okay. He actually has what he wants, because he can now send. He's in the color order that will give him the diagonal. So watch, he'll just follow standards. So reception to pivot, pivot to Pioneer, and go to black, and move black to be reception at 8. So by doing that expedite, Pete got the balls in what's a very convenient color order for setting the diagonal spread weave. Okay. From reception to Pioneer. And now the old Pioneer goes to reception. And notice that by this order, when he makes this hoop, if he touches black first, he can go black, which is the opal ball he wants at the peg. And then to partner. Okay. So black will be at the peg. Yellow will be the final escape ball. So he'll touch yellow because he can't go to blue without touching yellow. And he doesn't want to have to hit it anyway. He wants to take off to it. Okay. Gets it all. It's a little close to black. I think he'd like to move him a little bit away further as he goes to blue. It's blue. Now he's going to finish the diagonal. He's going to send blue toward 2-ish, probably south of 2, along the line between 1 and 2-ish. Then it'd be blue, black, yellow. So we'll have to go to black. Finish placing black at the peg, wired from blue, hopefully hindered by the peg at the same time. Good shot. So simple, right? So he picks the spot that's wired, taps black, takes off to yellow, rushes yellow out of bounds, probably, croquets him back, and then the interesting thing is that you'll see that yellow will have a rush to hoop 1 on red, as opposed to a rush to the peg ball. And that's important in this game, because without it, blue-black will pick up black at the peg and can finesse into hoop 3 and make life miserable for red-yellow. So that's another difference in this game versus the normal AC or the traditional AC or advanced AC, whatever you want to call it. So yellow's rushed out. We're getting music in the background. He's got 3 done for 4-6. Jamie's trying a sextuple in color order, and apparently has the first 3 peels done at 1 back, 2 back, and 3 back, and
Jaws in 4 back.
he's jaws in 4 back. Before 6. He's gonna get it. Of course, he did do it starting from the standard sextuple, not the delayed, but even that's not bad. Okay, so that was a very nice turn. We'll see if we can get Mark to come over here and talk to us about it. He's coming back. I waved. Thank you. Sorry about the noise. Just creating a chair for you, Mark. Out in the shade. Pete is deciding what to do. If he picks up blue, he'd want to shoot at which ball in color order, ladies and gentlemen? The answer is yellow. Because if he hits yellow and he's blue, then he can go to red. Is that right? That was a nice turn.
Thank you.
So he picked up blue, which I thought he would do, and he's going to shoot at yellow. And misses. All right, I got to talk to you much, Mark.
Yeah.
So with blue in the corner 4, Mark will rush red, croquet it to hoop 2, and use black to make hoop 1, which is pretty normal. But the interesting point will be what he does after hoop 1. I mean, he'll roquet black, but he'll have to go to blue. And the question is, will he Hogan?
No, so after the hoop, of course, he'll be hitting red. After red comes black. So I think with me having lifted blue, which is a bit unusual, rather than the Hogan roll, he's going to be putting red out to hoop 3 as his both his pioneer and where he wants to be peeling red, getting a rush on. Oh, he's played this a different way around. Okay, this is probably sensible. I thought I thought he was just going to take the rush that he had to hoop 1. He could have rushed black to 2, and then he could have played, rather than the Hogan roll, he could have played the roll after hoop 2, sending the ball from 4 up to 3, going to his partner. Instead, of course, now he's taking a sensible line of play here. So, yeah, back to Howard.
Well, let's just watch, because he's definitely going to take black to 1. And the interesting thing is he will go to blue. The question is, what does he do with blue? And there are 2 choices. One is that you could leave him there, or you can roll him somewhere interesting. Good shot.
Well, it's a lovely quick lawn, so I very much expect him to go for the Hogan roll, because standard TPs in this game are considerably easier than delayed TPs.
Absolutely true. We haven't seen a delayed, although we're about to see a sextuple. So he's taken what was the reception ball, and he's going to send it to hoop 3, which is also hoop 10, and notice that black is also the only escape ball possible, because if red is peeled, then yellow has to go to black. Alright, so now here's the big shot. The best of best here is to make blue reception at 2, something you would never do in AC. Because then you could make the hoop at 2 and be able to rush red over more easily. Let's see if that's what he's doing. I think it may be. No. Okay. So, blue's not far enough for my theory. So, notice now how the color order is going to play a bit of havoc. He will make 2 with partner, red. Now what? In functional order, he'd like to send red and go to blue, but he can't in color order. So he can force it. He can send red over to hoop 3, hoping to put him in peel position. Go to black, which is color order. Leave him over there. Come to blue, rush him over, and load and hold him so that you can come through and hit red. Let's see if that's what he does. So this is where color order makes things much more interesting. The other possibility would be to give up the peel as a back peel and say, okay, we could send red to 4 and go to black and then get reorganized. Now he's trying what I suggested. Okay. And if he does it, he'll even get a chance to adjust red one more time. So he won't try this peel as a back peel. He'll try this peel as a transit peel. Oh, he's not. Okay. He may be doing this as a 3-ball peel? Yes. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So he's going to make this hoop. Okay. He's going to put blue on the left, and black on the left, sorry. Come through, peel red, okay? Go to black, and go to blue to make hoop 4. Wonderful. If it happens. Okay, he touches red. Now comes the peel. Ooh, Jawses. Not awful. So, jawsing in the normal game is no problem. In fact, some people like to jaws penult intentionally. Sometimes you've actually seen a triple with 3 jawsings. And it doesn't affect you much in color order either, because this was a back peel. So jawsing a back peel converts peely into a pivot ball, which is still fine. But jawsing a transit peel, when peely was pivot, converts him to pioneer, which is a problem. But we'll see what happens here. But he needs to get the rush on blue. Here we go. And this is perfect. He makes hoop 4, and then he can go blue, red, black. And he can set himself up so that he'll be able to do the back peel at 6. That takes a nice pass roll on red after you rush peel him. Okay, we're through hoop 4. I believe he's going to send it to 6-ish, but really the important thing is to go to red, rush peel him, roll him toward 6 as well, come to black, which will be again the escape ball. But he'll get to adjust red one more time after the rush peel, and sending it coming out of 5, he'll get to modify its position one more time. But red will, in color order, technically be the pioneer for hoop 6, which is fine as long as we can rush him to a good reception ball position to be peeled. Peel done, very nice. This is, I think, going to be a really pretty shot. Getting red, or the attempt at least, is to get red, right near peel position or pioneer position, going to black. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so the color order here, presuming he makes the hoop and goes first to black because the reception ball will be black, blue, red. That's why I said red will technically be the pioneer. Okay. Okay, so black is the escape ball to hoop 8. And so he's going to put it on the left of red, short of 6 as he goes to blue. My wish is his command, or my my command is his execution. Let's put it that way. It's wonderful. Okay. Now he's comfortable that this peel gets done, so he is going to send blue to pioneer at 7. Coming to red. He'll rush red a little bit down south here and croquet it back to peel position, and he'll be ready to make hoop 6. Careful shot here. The good players will rush it a little south of the hoop, croquet it to Zach peel position. I've been taught to be sort of 2 feet south and 1 foot west when I do this shot, but there are lots of, just so you're not a long way away or blocked by the hoop. All right. Mark clearly has an easy play here. Ooh, okay, as long as that stayed in peel position, which I think it will. Pete, you want to take it for a minute? Or you? Nope. You want to sit there? A long day. Okay. So Mark would like to get south of black so we can rush it to the north boundary and croquet it down to 8. Gets the peel, very nice. 2 peels done. So that was an after peel, a back peel, whatever you want to call it. But the main thing in our system is the reception ball was peeled. The first ball after making the hoop. The one that determines the color order. Black to 8, going to blue. Now, if he's thinking of peeling on the way to 8, which is possible, he'd probably put it halfway between Rover and 8, but I think he's thinking of a straight Rover peel, which we've talked about, and avoid all the machinations earlier, which caused problems. It's all doable if you want, but it's more a matter of showmanship at that point rather than practicality. Although, Pete, I do have a game where if you peg out early, if you get all 3 peels done and peg out early, you get extra points. And you can peg out immediately once the triple's done. Right, so suppose you get the peel on the way to 9. You could peg out, and since you didn't make 10, 11, 12 before that, you get 3 extra points. So you get, in my game, 3 points for the peel and 3 extra points. So you and I can be playing a series of games, or you can beat me anyway, but where we pick a number like 11. Whatever. All right. So, what does he do with blue? What does he do with red? If you're playing the traditional game, you'd be very tempted to send blue to pioneer at 9. Okay? Here, you'd rather do a pivot swap and get red to 9 going to black, but either works. So he's chosen the more normal, if you will, but we'll see it has an implication. The implication is that red, which is pivot, will remain pivot, but we will be out of color order, and he will fix it with a 3 fix, I think. Let's see, though. Yep.
So for the last couple of minutes, if a normal AC player had come along and watched Mark play, they would have been thinking, oh yeah, this is a normal game, he's going about his TP in the standard kind of way. And now they might be thinking, well, what's he doing? I mean, first of all, Mark's rushed to slightly the wrong place, but even if he'd rushed out a bit wider, further off to the west, he wouldn't now be putting red out in peeling position, which he normally would, of course. Normally he'd be setting up for that peel going to blue after 2 back. But of course he can't do that because after heading black, after the hoop, he can't then go to red. So what he can do, as Howard's just commented, I'm not sure if you can hear that on this microphone, is he can put red as the reception ball, which he's doing right now, and then he can load the hoop, so he can get himself in front of the hoop whilst pushing black across a bit as his pivot ball. So he's got tight position there. He might have even preferred that to be a bit further away from the hoop for this next stroke.
So, instead of sending red to pivot, which would have given us an interesting conversation about fixing color order, he's maintained the color order with what we call the expedite, where he sends each ball 2 functions. Blue went from reception to pioneer, red went from pivot to reception, and black has gone such that he will be the pivot ball. He was the pioneer, he becomes the pivot. Though they each advance 2, which allows Mark to keep the color order, go to red first, then black, and then blue. So when's he going to do the straight rover? He's going to do straight rover, right, Pete? I think.
I would tend to presume so. I would tend to presume that that's what he's going to try and do from here, is he'll probably end up with that straight rover peel. If he had a bit more room, he could still try things like the rush across after 3 back, but things can quickly get very hairy with colour order AC, so what can seem like a good plan in hindsight can suddenly seem like a really bad plan when you suddenly discover that you're out of colour order with your pioneer a long way from the hoop.
So the fun question to ask is, presuming that he sends black to 4 back, goes to blue, sets up to make hoop 9 with blue, okay? In that case, red will be pivot, and in 2 hoops time, we'd like the pivot ball to be the pioneer. And it won't be if we just do standards. In fact, it would be the reception ball. So he's going to have to do something other than what we call the standard, advancing each ball one function. And we'll see what he does to make it right. Woo. Did he blob it? He did. Oh no. All right. A major turnabout. Blue is for 1. That's the logical ball for Pete to use. Yellow's the logical ball to hit. And in which case, after yellow, he has to go to red. And then black, although black's pretty far out of it. So I think he will knock yellow out, send it to 2 going to red, and make coop 1 with red. And then he can send red toward 3 going to black, and then to yellow to make 2. Let's see if that's what he does. The other possibility would be to rush red to black and use black to make 1, but that seems like an awful lot of work. First things first, he will play blue, and he will hit yellow. All right, here we go. Yellow toward 2. Gets the rush, sort of, on red to 1. That's fine. As long as Pete can rush it nicely, this turn really gets started. Very nice. That's good rush. Now the interesting thing is, he makes hoop 1 with red. He can't go to yellow. Mark, can you talk? Thank you. You call that a blob? What do you Brits call that?
A stick. I call it a stick. Yeah, I didn't make a good croquet stroke going to the Pioneer at 3 back, so I had an awkward backward takeoff and a slightly angled hoop, which I should have made, and got too much wire. Yeah, I hit it harder, yeah.
So, what do you think he does next? Come back in the shade. Take this one. I'm trying to protect the English pink skin.
It's quite hot here today.
I think he rushes them.
Yeah. So Pete's just made hoop 1 with his blue ball. Rush red to 3, where black is. We're not sure what he's going to do.
So this is where watching people get things back in color order is fun. Because if he's going to make 2 with yellow, the ball he needs next is red. So he doesn't want red way over here. So he's sending it to Pioneer. Very nice. Okay. And what he wants to do with black is send him pretty far west and croquet him back to be pioneer at 3, which is just what he did. So he has, for him, an easy shot. Stop shot-ish?
Yeah. Not sure if he's going to go all the way around and peg red out as an option. Peg red out as an option. Or just go make 9 with a leave.
That's cool. Yeah, Mark's pointing out that red is on rover. He certainly can be peeled and pegged out. Oh, let's hope so. That would be great. I hope he sees that. Can I tell him? No, I'm not going to tell him. Yeah, that's a great option.
Yeah.
Then I want to ask you, did you have the color order you needed to do the rover peel and the peg out? I don't think so at that point.
No, at that point. Yeah. Could have done a load and hold.
Yeah, I think we'd have to do the arithmetic together.
Yeah.
So the one thing we've discovered is there is a way to answer the question I just asked. Okay? Are the balls in the color order you need to accomplish, say, the rover peel and then peg out? And in particular, in the peg out, you want to hit the peely last. Have it be like the pioneer at the peg, the third ball. So did that sextuple happen?
So Jamie Birch has beaten Stephen Forster on drawn 5. They're just having their post-match chat.
But it looked like a sextuple potentially.
Yeah, I think Jamie did have an attempt he done well on a sextuple attempt and got, I think, 3 or 4 peels.
Yeah, he had finished 3 in front of 6, and he was
that's
jaws
good.
4 back.
Right, that's good.
That was going to happen.
So Pete's carrying on with his first break.
So
With blue.
when would he peel red? Right after 5?
That would be best. Let's see if he's going to do it first. He might just make 9 with a leave.
I hope not.
Be entertaining if he did go for the rover peel and the peg out. So he sent red as a pioneer to 4.
Right, but he could still get red to reception.
Correct.
Yeah, with a little load and hold. We'll see. Now that would send him to pioneer. But he could do the repeat after 4. After 4, right?
Yes.
Where red is reception to reception gets into pivot position.
Yeah.
So we're talking about one of the ways of organizing the 4 balls, is to have each repeat its function. In this case, we're thinking about red becoming the reception at hoop 4, and we send him to reception at hoop 5, and black as pivot to pivot, and yellow. But that's a load and hold down to 6. That kind of sucks, right? Yeah, but you should do it now and send red to pioneer, because that's the easy one.
Yeah.
So now is the time to do the load and hold if he's going to do it.
Going to 4.
Right, but he doesn't have a reception ball, so he's not doing it. Too bad. I think he can still pull it off. Let's see.
Yeah, he can still do. He can still go for it.
He can go for it if the load and hold of yellow here is really to escape ball position as opposed to pioneer, right?
Yes.
Because what's required here is to get red to reception,
Yeah. Going to black.
black going to black, and then to yellow, and make it so you can come to red first, then black, and then yellow.
No, he's not.
He's not doing it.
He's in this is
All right. Well, it'd still be done. On the way to 9?
Yes. That would make sense on the way to 9, yeah.
Or on the way to 8? On the way to 8?
If it, yeah. I think he's just going to make 9.
Well, you know him a lot better than I do,
Yeah.
but I think he's going to. Okay, we'll see. All right, who 5 done? So he's definitely, the balls are lined up to set a diagonal simply, because he'll send a partner to 7. And we said that's sort of the ideal color order to have to just run a diagonal.
He's got a little bit out of sequence here because he's just hit reception yellow after 5 with his blue ball.
That's right, he is out.
Yeah, so he's out of. He's just realised he's out of sequence. Yeah.
Okay, so how does he fix it right here?
Wow.
So he wants to send pivot to.
Wow.
So he wants to send black.
Nah.
He wants to
So
leave
he
black alone. Leave
Yeah.
black alone.
He needs to
so
leave
he's in
black
trouble.
alone. Yeah. So he needs to send this to 1 back, going to red. So that's a
3
3 fix. Yeah. Oh.
Going to red. Uh-oh. He can't get to red. He can't hit. He can hit black. It's like a piece of furniture. But he's got to hit red. Yeah. This will be it. You may be in, my friend. He should have tried the peel. He can scatter black. That's it. No, Pete! Pete! Out of color order!
Oh no! That's the first one we've had, I think.
So just stay like that, and his blue ball goes back.
The blue ball goes back and he was moving, but he was perfectly fine to scatter. So that's a scatter shot, Peter. Just move blue back a little. Welcome to color order. Right about there. All right. Red's definitely going to play. Red's going to hit black. Remember, red is for rover. So he has one hoop to make and then set a leave for yellow. Or is he going to play yellow? Because if he plays yellow and hits, he can finish. So this is a conservative, smart play, I think. Okay, color order is black, yellow, blue to make rover. And then let's see what sort of leave he makes.
So, classic case of fatigue from me there. I was intending to put red, which is the rover ball, on the back of hoop 1, which is, of course, the hoop for my other ball at the end of my turn. And to do that, I want to be making 2 back off red, but also have the next ball in sequence to go to, so black as my escape ball, with yellow already over at 3 back. Normally, of course, for that leave, you don't need to think too much about which way round the other balls are, because you can just correct them after the hoop, after 3 back. So I gave it so much extra thought that I then got confused about the colour of the balls that I was currently playing. And we'll get that probably occasionally for a little while, getting used to this game. There's been an awful lot of thinking over the last 3 days, so we're all getting a bit jaded, plus the heat, I think, at the moment. But it's another case of the extra thinking required. Normally, for that sort of leave, I think I would just be flowing around, feeling like I was knowing what I was doing. But it just throws your rhythm slightly, and we've got an example here where Mark's having to really think about what he's doing, where he'd normally pretty much know what he was doing immediately. With only 1 hoop to go, he's got to give things plenty of thought.
Yeah, so the interesting thing is not making this hoop, it's what leave he sets, okay? And we haven't seen a leave set mid-play. We've only seen setting for diagonal. So this will be interesting to see what he does. So he'd like to set it up so that yellow can finish if Pete misses.
For my previous turn, I'd considered starting the turn in a way that I would never normally consider for normal AC, because Mark had blobbed 3 back, and I considered playing a turn where I would deliberately peel him through 2 hoops and then stop, on the basis that having done a peel through 4 back, I would then be allowed to continue with my other ball, and I could then go round and peel. Yeah, but I could peel red and peg that ball out. So I had extra things to think through for what was worthwhile, but I was actually considering an option that never would normally even be in my head as a possibility. So it's quite fun having to think about extra things.
That one's cool. I hadn't thought about that one. We did wonder if you were going to peg out red.
Well, of course, I'm not allowed to just go round and peg out red, because in order to do that, I need to peel a ball through 4-back. I can't just go round and peg out red in the way that you normally could in AC, because I wouldn't have done a peel at 4-back, and my first ball running 4-back, that would need to be peeled. So unless I'm peeling opponent, and that's why I'm considering actually peeling yellow through 3-back, so that I can be peeling it through 4-back in order to then peel red through rover, which otherwise and peg it out, which otherwise I'm not allowed to do. So it's really quirky.
Of course. You're 3 steps ahead of me. Thank you. Because, yeah, Mark and I say, why doesn't he just peel it and peg him out? And, well, you can't. Welcome to Color Order, everyone. Meanwhile, what's happened here? He's made rover. He's trying to set a leave. So blue looks nicely wired from black. He's not giving a lift because he just made 1 hoop. So he's put a ball at the pioneer hoop, blue, and is he going to put another ball at 3-back? And get off the lawn, get away. Now, it's pretty interesting to ask the question, if you're setting the classic 1-2 leave when both balls are for 1, which ball do you want? Normally you don't care, but in Color Order you do. So it's not just having a ball at your current and your pioneer, it's having the right ball. And there's a chapter in our book that goes through that. But we'll see if Mark gets it. Ooh. I think he's trying to wire himself from black. That's a nice spot here.
Blue and black might be technically
Hmm?
I think blue and black might be wide.
Yeah.
So he can't.
Oh, he's got to leave a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure black is wired from blue?
Not sure.
Okay.
Just looks like it.
He's rolling away, giving black a long shot, a long look. So Mark has his final shot. And then Pete will play, but with no lift. And Pete's pointing out, we'll ask Mark, is blue wired from black? Mark, are black and blue wired from each other? Oh, so you had to leave him something here. Okay. So he said blue could see all of black, black cannot see all of blue, therefore black had to have a shot on, I suppose, yellow, and that's what he's going to take. Ooh, and misses. Okay. Yellow should finish easily. And the question is, in traditional, you would hit black, pop him into the lawn, get the rush on red. Can't do that here because after black, he has to go to blue. He can't go to red. So he could go to red first and then try to get the rush on black. Or he can just finish with 3 balls. Or he can go make 3 back, come back for black afterwards. So this is where color order gets interesting. I like that. I like going to make 3 back, come back to get black, and then go make 4 back with blue. And if that much goes well, he still should finish. But this is where it's really sort of fun in color order. Alright. He'd like the rush back to black. Because if he gets it, which he does nicely, he can rush black to blue.
I think it's worth commenting that although the hoops are nicely set, the ground is currently fairly soft, and that means that we're able to run hoops with reasonable amount of control. And with this game, it's really, really important to be able to get rushes where you want a lot of the time. As we've just seen here, Mark's got a rush back towards black. That's made life a lot easier for him. On a lawn where the hoops were more difficult, they were, set for worlds in hard ground, for instance. This game suddenly becomes an incredible amount more difficult. We know in normal AC that the game becomes a lot more difficult, but when you've got to go to the balls in a particular order after the hoop and you're less sure of your rushes, it becomes really a lot more challenging and puts yet more emphasis on the croquet strokes.
So, Mark now sends that ball to penalt, and then it'd go blue, red, black to make penalt. He'd like to make Rover with which ball would he like to make Rover with?
I'd like to make it with red.
Yes. So notice red happens to be there, close to there. So if he rushes blue up, goes to red.
So red's ready for the peg, isn't it?
Yeah. So you'd rather not. You don't want to make Rover with that unless you're going to take off from it.
Exactly, yeah.
So we can use blue there. If he rushes red down, right? Nope, we can't go black to red. This will actually be interesting. Get it right. So the way to do this is put red to reception. Make the hoop with black, but go to red. Then you go red, black, blue to rover. Don't think he's doing that. Nope. So now, if he goes to red, he's fine. If he doesn't go to red, he'll be out of color order. Because if he hits black after the hoop, he cannot go to red. I think he sees it and is going to red. Can he get to red? Yes, okay, he saw it. So, red to the peg, black to blue, and with blue, with red at the peg, he can just use blue to make it and finish. In other words, he doesn't want to play for an adjustment on red. He just will hit it once and get him out. So if he wanted to use blue to get to red, after making that hoop and going to black, it was possible, but black had to go to reception. But he doesn't need it. And that should be it. No Grievous. Oh, one more stroke. Yay! Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Then before you leave, Pete, any comments on this game? I want you to say what you explained to me about what you were thinking of here, because I hadn't thought of that at all. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So Mark had blobbed 3 back, and his other ball was for rover. Normally an AC, that would mean that I could just get in, go round, do 1 peel, peg him off, and have quite an advantage, just virtually for the sake of a 4-ball break, just for 1 peel. This game's very different, not only with the colour order aspect, but also I'm not allowed to run 4 back with my first ball. I've got to peel that. So unless I've got to peel a ball through 4 back before I can do that. So I considered just tapping Mark at 3 back and peeling him at 3 back, so that I could potentially peel him at 4 back. And then be pegging out red with my other ball, which, that's a somewhat insane thing to consider from a normal AC perspective. If you were going to peel red and peg it out, you certainly wouldn't be considering peeling their other ball through 2 of their hoops to get them to penult. But it's got big downsides as well in colour order AC, because if Mark, with 4 balls on the lawn, if he made 4 back and stopped, then he'd be giving me contact. Whereas if I've pegged off a ball, then he'd no longer be giving me contact. So that again is another equation changer in terms of whether it's worth going for these things. So there's a lot of complexities to think about, which make the game certainly interesting at the moment to think about, and we're trying to work out the kind of sensible procedures under the current conditions at the moment. But interesting game, really well played, Mark. Thanks.
Thanks, Pete. Yep. Pete just proved that on the middle of his break that going to 6, he just lost a bit of concentration on his colour order. So luckily for me,
he didn't know what he was thinking about here.
No.
Oh my God. so wonderful.
Yeah, it was good for me. So yeah, so
Wonderful for thought process.
yeah.
And
Good-
sad, but good
Good
for
job
you.
I hadn't gone to the loo because Pete didn't realise. But so that gave me a reasonably easy rover hoop and have a leave, which you still have to concentrate on because you have to get the sequence right to make sure you're running or rushing to 3 back and getting the sequence right to carry on with your break from 3 back onwards. So that was good. So yeah, it was an interesting game with my little hoop stick at 3 back, made it even more interesting.
Thank you both.
Thank you.